Hey, what is up, TikTok? The last time you watched my video on this trailer, it looked something like this. In my last video, I was planning on building a camper on this trailer because it's the frame of an old pop-up camper. But my wife and I ended up painting the trailer. Of course, I sanded it mainly to knock off all the surface rust, and then I painted over it. So flipped the trailer over and got underneath.
So these bolts are completely stuck, so I'm avoiding the tongue right now. I'm gonna end up angle grinding all these bolts out so they can come out without me fighting with them, because I'm replacing that thing entirely. But I got the first coat done finally. This is what it's gonna look like. I plan on buying some tail lights maybe at some point this weekend or today. So this is what it looks like all painted up with the first coat.
This is a quick little walk around of the trailer. I plan on doing the wheels eventually, but I think I've done enough painting for now.
All right, I am getting ready to do my lights and run the wiring and everything. And I already got this one pre-drilled, so. Boom. Exciting stuff.
So what I ended up doing with this to hide some wires was I drilled an extra hole down here, and I have my two mounting bracket holes, and that just basically hides the wire and keep them from draping underneath the trailer, which I always hate when I see. This is what my camper trailer looks like once I got it painted and the lights hooked up. And this is what it looks like now with the floor installed. And I'm excited with how it turned out. I'm going to first start by setting the decking on the frame, clamping it off where I need it to be. Then I will cut my board and set it in place. Cutting around the wheel wells was a little tricky at first, but I took it one measurement at a time and finally got it done. Now I'm going to cut a piece on the back end nose. This is a budget build, so I'm using plastic for an underlayment. And it was so satisfying to peel this plastic back because it turned out perfect. I ended up notching in treated lumber on the front and rear to buy me some more square footage space. This is what it looks like to have the piece of plastic on. And finally, the most exciting part, to see the deck finally in place. I plan to pull the plastic around the sheet of plywood, and then I will put flashing on top of it around the entire perimeter, and this is what the wheel looks like. My wife was so excited that she swept the trailer off for me. And there you have it. That is how I did the floor system for my camper trailer build. My next video, I will start framing for the walls and figure out what I'm gonna do with the wheel. I plan on finishing the foundation of this trailer this video. I'm gonna finish up painting. I'm gonna put a trailer jack in place. I ended up having to use the angle grinder to cut the bolts off because they were not coming off without cutting them. Finally got an angle grinder down. Let's see. There it is. I finally got a trailer jack on, and that thing is not coming off ever. I had such a hard time finding a trailer jack that would work, and I basically had to make one work. So I was gonna get to the wheel wells, but I never got to it this weekend. All right, I got the tires off. I'm checking the wheel bearings, and they all seem to be doing pretty good. I know one thing for sure is that I'm gonna have to buy brand new tires because these are dry rotted and worn down. And I'm gonna paint them finally. This is basically the finished product of the trailer. I got the frame painted, the angle flashing painted, as well as the wheels. All I have left to do is build the wheel wells, then I can start building all the walls and everything. I bought this trailer for $200 off of Facebook Marketplace. So my wife and I sanded it, painted it, and put some decking material on top and wrapped it in angle flashing. We're basically building our dream from the ground up. This is what it looked like when it was finished. I leveled it and started building. This is the first wall I'm building on camera. After all the framing was built, we started plumbing them and fastening them off to the trailer. Once all the walls were up, I was able to put in all the roof rafters. After that was complete, I covered it all in house wrap to keep it out of the weather. I also done cross braces for the roof rafters so it would be sturdy, and I also framed for the windows. And I used bolts with a locking nut and washer underneath, and I used thread locker on the bolts. Now it's time to rip off this horrible house wrap and do the right thing. To fasten up the sheets of plywood, I used heavy duty construction glue, followed behind with screwing it all up. If you like watching a blue collar man build a dream for him and his family,
Please give the video a like and a follow. That's what keeps me motivated to keep filming the build. Without y'all, I would not be even interested in making these videos. Thank you all for the support, and my wife and I really love the build so far.